Boom. There we go. We are live, as they say. Welcome again. Back-to-back interviews going live today on the UK and Ireland YouTube channel. Yesterday, we had St. George Staines. Today, we are going to have the Jedi himself. Akon Wanliss is joining us, newly announced in the TipSport Gamechanger €1 million tournament. Excited to talk to him about that. Excited to talk to him about the Newcastle card. But for those who forgot, let's remind ourselves how Akon Wanliss announced himself to OKTAGON.
Utilizing that giant frame here, trying to get the kicks going. Hasn't quite found his range yet with those kicks, but the hand lands there, left hand staggers. Hilton staggers his opponent back.
Left hand again there.
And a right hand.
The right hand. Oh, the Jedi looking for the finish. Here he comes. Akon Wanliss looking to announce himself. That is it. The Jedi strikes. The Force has been unleashed here inside the OKTAGON cage.
There we go. As a great man once said, "Jeez, there he is." How are you, brother?
Come on, Kazan. I'm all good, man.
Happy New Year to you. I haven't seen you in ages, man, and it's been too long.
Happy New Year to you too, man. And I was looking forward to seeing my celebration with the Jaffa cakes on top of the cage, but we didn't get time to do it.
Look, we can't. Listen, I know that you're in camp already, so I can't do that to a man. I can't do that. I can't show you Jaffa cake. What have you got on the side though? What are you reaching for?
I've eaten all my Jaffa cakes, and there's
They're
nothing. So there's nothing. I was reaching for my water.
Water and electrolytes. What a life! What a life! But look, this is huge, man. The TipSport Gamechanger. It was the biggest thing of 2023 in OKTAGON. In fact, the biggest thing that OKTAGON have ever done. It got world recognition. You had some of the best fighters in the world coming to be part of it. This season is now with the lightweights. I mean, did you watch the last season, first of all? Did you watch the finale? Did you see Bojan and Michaelides? Did you watch any of the TipSport on the build-up?
Yeah, so I actually didn't watch the build-up of it, but I watched the final, and what a great fight, man. It started out with Bojan getting almost, I wouldn't say run over, but it looked like it could have got stopped at any point. You know, the tricky shots underneath his arm, really throwing his head back, and then for him to come back and after I don't know how to say his name.
Michaelides, yeah.
Michaelides, that's great. Yeah. So after Michaelides kind of like looked like he blew his load, I thought maybe he's going to get a second wind and come back. I was literally favouring him in the fight in the first exchange, but then man, Bojan came back and just showed his grit, showed his determination. Like his coach said, we've done the first hill. And from that moment when he said done the first hill, he came out like a man on fire and just took him out, man. And just a great finish, a great submission to finish it off. And man, I'm happy to be part of the Game Changer this season, this year, to make more spectacular memories and to come out as a champion.
And like you saw the final, you saw him with the check, you saw the emotions of his friends, his family, because he'd been on a hell of a roller coaster. Like his father passed away earlier in the year. He then was thinking about leaving mixed martial arts. And he said, I'm doing this not for the check, but to prove that everything I've sacrificed, because again, fighters sacrifice so much for this sport. People don't even know. They just see that 2 seconds or, you know, the 15 minutes or the 25 minutes of the fight. And they don't realize what you guys, you girls go through to prepare for this. And for him to come through, and I think he was the underdog in every fight that he went into, and to come out as the champion and have that big old chunk of 300,000 of that. Did that get you tingly? Did you picture yourself there in a year's time?
100%, 100%. When we were walking out, of course I did. When we were walking out, I was already like thinking, yo, am I going to be in the red corner or the blue corner? How am I going to come out and say, yo, listen, my entrance for my final is going to be something spectacular. You get me? So tune in. Make sure you tune in. But definitely, I was really happy for Bojan. Really happy for both of the fighters. I was surprised
You got it. Just trust yourself. Use the force. Yeah. Nailed it. Use the force. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. I was surprised Michaelides. He got like a nice check as well, right? It was like
130K, I think. 130,000 of that money went to him as well. That's not bad, right?
I was like, not bad, man. You put on a great performance, and you know it's great that that in OKTAGON that you got the chances to be able to garner money like that, because you know they're talking about life-changing money, about 300,000 life-changing. I think you can change your life for 100 grand. If you do the right investments and stuff like that, you sure you can change your life for 50 grand. If you got 50 grand spare and you put it into a nice investment here, there, or there, it's great. So there's not many chances at this level, you know, when you really climb in, especially for me, because I'm kind of young in my career. I've seen a lot of fighters, they got like 20, 25, 30 fights in their career, maybe coming to the end of their career. So maybe they've had chances to have these big purses and these big life-changing monies and moments and stuff like that. But for me, that's a big driver as well. It's super exciting to be at this stage, this level, so soon, at the perfect time in my career. So I'm bursting at the brim, man. I'm just ready to go. I've been in camp since last year. We're just on it, man. We're on it.
I got to drop this comment into this. I'm not so sure about the nickname of the guy, but only monsters this season, and Acon is my favorite to be champion. And I got a question from him as well. Is Keita going to be the tournament? I'm not sure about Keita. In fact, I know he's not, because all 16 have been announced now. So, but again, let's talk about that journey to get this. How long was the conversation as far as you being made aware that they were talking about you in the Game Changer to you signing it and going, this is 2024, this is what I'm doing?
Well, I heard like what's the saying that they say, what's it called, through the grapevine?
Grapevine, yeah, the rumor mill, the grapevine. Yeah.
Exactly. So I heard it through the grapevine that there were going to be a 2024 Game Changer tournament in lightweight, and I was kind of like, oh, how do I position myself to be in the Game Changer? Like that was a big part of my focus. And I was thinking, my logic was thinking maybe they're going to take the first, top 15 out of OKTAGON or something like that. So I thought, I need to climb my rankings up. If they're going to take the first top 10, then I need to get myself in the top 10. So I was trying to fight with these guys. And then when the situation with Banik happened, and he's number 4, and I'm still not in the rankings, I was like, shit. I was like, get me a quick fight. Somebody get me a fight. But the MMA gods have spoken, and I feel like the owners, Pavo and Andre, I don't mean to put them in it, but they knew I was going to run for that guy. They knew I was going to smoke their number 4, or it's not their top 10. So it's only right that you put me in the tournament, and I'm the only representative of England now, I guess, and it wasn't really a long debate with myself to go, oh, do I want to do this or not? It was, is Game Changers on? Okay, cool. I'm in. Yeah. Let's go. So, not a question in my mind. And obviously, before I didn't know who was going to be fighting in it and stuff. Whether there were going to be a title. I still don't know if there's going to be a title out of in the final and stuff like that. But the champion's in it. And there's so many other great fighters from other organizations that are champions of their organizations and stuff. So I'm super excited that nobody's going to say no. Nobody can't say no, So I'm going to have guaranteed 4 fights this year. Let's go.
That's exciting. And again, you mentioned it there. In fact, I can answer one of your questions. So when the Game Changer happens, the belt is frozen. So it's almost like the division is frozen. So it's all about the tournament. And then once the tournament is done, the belt, like we've got with the welterweights now, the belt will become live again. So that answers that. But that you said you're and you're not just representing England, you're representing Great Britain, my friend. Great Britain. So what does that feel like? You've flown the flag for England versus Ireland. Great Britain will now be over your shoulders as well. What's that feel like to represent those nations coming together as GB?
It's great. Like I feel an honor to do it. I'm also going to throw my Jamaican flag over my shoulder too. So carrying multiple nations, and represent myself very well and represent my family very well in the whole world. So that is my goal in MMA, and it doesn't feel like a big weight on my shoulders. It feels exactly where I'm supposed to be.
I had a chat with someone you know very well yesterday, Mr. George Staines. And we talked a little bit about the Game Changer, and I just want to play you. I don't know if you heard it, but I want to play you what he said when we talked about you. I'm going into this as well. I think he's got a fantastic chance in this.
Oh God, he's so
good, man.
Yeah,
And he's so big, right? He's big for lightweight.
Huge lightweight. And he's talking to me about moving down to featherweight. I was just like, man,
I don't know what he'd have to cut off to make featherweight, but let's not think about it. He'd probably hit bantamweight if he cut that off.
Yeah,
but I think, you know what? It's also been, I know this, it's been hard to get him fights because
I can imagine.
Nobody wants to
it's
fight
scary.
him.
It's like he's a hard opponent to prepare for.
So that was Mr. George Staines, the champion of Octagon Challenge England versus Ireland. Getting behind you. And I mean, I got so many messages because I was at the press conference and I did a little post when they started announcing the fighters, and you came up and I stuck a post up with you, and I got so many messages going, hell yeah, let's go. Just talk to people about your journey in Octagon, because it's been so hard to match you, right? There's not been many people. I think Bannick, obviously, even Gogo Tachuri, he came in on late notice. But how hard has it been to get fights, and what's it feel like now? Like exactly like you said, that no one can say no. That you will fight somebody every step of the way, and there's no saying no. This is the tournament. If you're in, you have to face the Jedi.
Yeah, exactly that. And it's been a frustrating time because it slows down your progress of MMA. Like you try, and I only fought twice last year, and I kind of scratched my head. I was like, what the fuck, twice? And I was like, nah, I swear, I must have got to like 16 different opponents. How have I only fought twice? Like what? It's absolutely crazy. And I remember coming to Octagon, and I remember doing the TV show and not having an opponent, and meeting the matchmaker Andre and going, and he's looking at me like, yeah, I've got this guy, I'm going to speak to Sid, blah blah blah, and then coming back to me, oh no, I've got a different guy, and then meeting you, and then we talking, and we're like, bro, let's just hope they sign. We get excited for this one name. I research him that quick. I'm like, okay, this is who I'm going to fight, and then disappear off the map. And it was the case of my Octagon debut. It was the case of my second fight, and the case of me at the end of the year trying to get opponents. And you know, there's so many ranked fighters saying no. You got Shiroki, who's fighting now in Newcastle. He said no to me twice. You've got Paconi as well. He had an opponent that he dropped out, and he wanted to. You know, there was an opportunity for me to fight, and to turn around and say no. And I understand why, but it's frustrating for me. And now that I'm in this tournament, they can't say no. I don't think they were going to say no anyway. I put some respect on their name. And none of them seem like pussies and not like they're not fighters. You know what I mean? They're really about their game, and that's what makes me even more excited about this tournament. I'll be going there, testing myself against the best that Octagon are bringing, and I get to climb to the top of the mountain and hold my lightsaber nice and high and eat my jacket. That's the one too, Brian. You get me? Come
on. Listen, what's it like as well? Because you're preparing for a fight March 2nd, but you don't know who you're going to fight. Has that changed anything as far as? I mean, I don't know. It just feels kind of. Does it feel weird getting ready for a fight, or is it kind of? Are you used to it because of all these dropouts? And is that maybe a blessing in some sort of disguise? Because you know you've never really known who you're going to fight. If you jump back in your record, multiple times people are coming out and you're having to fight someone on short notice.
Yeah. So I guess it means no difference to me. I've been prepared for this. You can say my whole MMA career has prepared me for moments like this where I don't know who I'm going to fight, and it doesn't really matter to me because I'm going to be prepared the way I prepare myself to the best of my abilities. Unleash the force. Come. And he said November. Unleash the force. We'll be in November soon.
March 2nd, mate. March 2nd.
The year away yet. Yeah. But come March the 2nd, I will unleash the force, and I can't wait. And it doesn't matter who against.
Listen, well, there's a question for Acon. Who would you like to fight in the first round? And I'm going to go through. I'm going to bring up the fighters. First of all, I'm going to bring this graphic up because this is one of my favorite graphics. Look at that! Look at that! Front and center, Akon Wanliss. Front and center.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a memory, right? That's a memory to be, you know, on the biggest poster of the year already before we've even kicked into the year properly, and to be front and center with those legends as well. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, man. I like that. I like that so much, man. It's when I seen it, and I was front and center. I was a bit gassed. I'm not gonna lie.
It's such
I,
a
I
good
understand why. I understand why Paradis is there at the top. Of course, he's the champ. You know, so I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad him being over the top and up the top there. But man, your man, the focus is there.
Let's have a look at some of these people. And again, you don't have to know all of it. I'm not sure. Are you the type of guy, now you know the names? Have you been researching? Have you been looking at these other guys, or have you not even really checked it out properly? Just known who they are, or what have you done since you know who's in the brackets?
Well, since the first night, I went away and watched all the fighters as much as I could, really, because that's all I do is kind of like eat Jaffa cakes. I need to bang my missus, but yeah, I do that a lot. And train, you know, playing some games. I built this sick Lego, which I'm going to show you. Actually, yo, George, if you're watching this,
Listen.
check this out, brother.
Oh, dude, the X-Wing. There you go. There you go. That's
So
pretty.
my phone
That
stand.
is pretty.
Yeah, it took me a couple days to build, but that's my phone stand. But yeah, so I do. I don't look too much into them because obviously the opponents can change, and I don't even know who I'm going to fight. But I just had like a general look. All right, cool. That looks like a grappler. That's a striker. All right, this is what he likes to do. Oh, he's a featherweight. Oh, he's a welterweight. Oh, he's from KSW. He's from there. Just kind of like a rough view.
I'll chuck them into the thing just to see if there's any that caught your eye in particular. This is Duque, obviously representing Spain out there, and this is the other great thing, right? You've got all these different nations coming into this, so you get to test yourself not just against different fighters, but different fighting styles from different nations. I love this as well. Grabinski, who was in the welterweight tournament, coming down to the lightweight as well. He's held belts at lightweight in Germany. Dershka, a super tough opponent. Lengal coming up from featherweight. Legursky, for me, is one to watch because he was the first ever Octagon lightweight champion, and he's looked very good since he's returned. And then, of course, there you are again, Paradisa, the champion, Amir Khani. I mean, it's just a great lineup, right?
It is, man. It is. And just saying, Amir, his name, Americani.
Makwan Amir Khani.
Americani, that's it. Americani. Akon Americani. Like, I'm super excited that he's in the tournament. You know, someone that's been in the UFC and been there at the highest highs. He's coming into for another resurgence, you know, and beating a guy like that. He's got great popularity and you know, a good record as well. So to take someone out like that, to have it on your name it's epic, you know. It's like it's absolutely awesome. The names that are in there and the guys that I can beat, and to be able to put some more respect on my name of having them on my list and taking them out. It's an exciting place to be, man, and I'm looking forward to it.
The others that have just been announced are Matusz Kohut. He's going to be there representing Czech Republic. Siraj, he's coming from a kickboxing background. He is very much a striking pedigree. Then we have from the Netherlands here, Sadari, and then Attila Korkmaz. I've known him for a long time, Attila. He's really game. He's fought all over the place. I've seen him fight in Turkey, in Russia, in Germany as well. Again, when you look at the pedigree, when you look at the quality of fights, there's going to be no easy route to this title, right? There's no way it's going to be, you know, sliding in through and, you know, avoiding any big fights or, you know, getting your skills tested in a way. Is that motivating for you? Just thinking, right, how am I going to deal with certain styles, or how am I going to match up against somebody with that pedigree in striking or grappling?
Yeah, 100%. And I didn't expect no easy route to a million, you know, like, or to be the champion. I didn't expect to come into Octagon and be like, oh, cool, I'm just going to avoid everybody and just become the champ, or, you know, there's not going to be no tough fights and stuff like that. Like, even though, you know, I've said in the past, like, some people are not on my level, or like, you know, I've made it look easy, you know, with a first round finish or a fast finish or something like that. I don't never prepare like someone's easy. I always prepare like they're the most dangerous opponent, that it's a world title fight. It's the highest the highest implications ever, so that when I step in there, there's no stone left unturned. So it doesn't matter who's facing in front of me, doesn't matter what level they are, or whether they're less skilled than me or whether they're more skilled in a different area. I just come in there and just unleash the force. I come in and I do my best in every aspect of the game, and if that means that I win easy, or it means that I get through and I become the champion, then that means I've done a good job, right? And that's what I aim to do.
It's legacy, right? If you can walk away saying that you've marched through that level of competitor to get to the end. Again, it's such a crazy year because so much can happen fight to fight, yet alone knowing you could have 4 fights before the end of the year and whatever else. Out of those names, are there any that really catch your eye where you think, I'd like to face them first, or that's somebody who, respectfully or unrespectfully, I'd like to get in the cage with?
Well, obviously, I guess it doesn't really matter in the order. Like, who's first? I'm gonna fight. I don't know who I'm gonna fight first. Everyone's gonna be scrapping, but I'd love to obviously fight the champ. Like, I don't think getting to the final and not facing the champ. Say if he doesn't make it, I should hope so. He does. I feel like he's the toughest guy in the whole tournament, Paradise, right? And so I'd love to fight him. Love to be considered the champ before you have to go and if it's frozen belt, if it's a frozen belt, I'd love to be considered the champ before you go and collect it. Sort of vibes. Also Macron Irmani, like I said, I've got a lot of respect for him. He's from the UFC, and to be able to face and have knocked a guy like that on your list is absolutely epic. You've got other champions like Daniel Torres as well. He's from KSW. Beating a guy like that, it's absolutely epic. I feel like me and Lengao would be a super exciting fight because he likes to stand and bang, and he seems like a really wild guy. So I guess if I had to pick someone first, I'd probably go with Lengao maybe. And then, what's his name? Is it number 2? Legursky. So that's like a number 2 or number 1 he is. So that's like a title eliminator fight. Even though the champion's in the tournament, there's so many great fights that you could make out of it, and I just love them all. I must say there was a lot of grapplers in this tournament. There's so many grapplers and a lot of featherweight grapplers, and I do feel like that's going to play. I know I've been bigging myself up here a lot, but I do think that's going to play into my hands and my skills a lot. Where my anti-grappling is super spectacular. I've got a very good grappling, which you've seen yourself firsthand, that nobody really knows too much about. So I might be throwing out some more submissions myself in the near future. And I really look forward to seeing what each of these opponents bring out of me. Obviously, you can't fight them more. There's only going to be 4 fights. But if there was like a list, a murder's row that we could just fight, everyone's going to fight each other, I'd be buzzing for that. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. One by one.
Oh my god! Because this is how my head works as well. So when I see the announcement, so we've signed somebody else, my head starts thinking, "Wow, that could be a great fight." Or this. So God knows what it's like. How are you sleeping at the first of all? How are you sleeping at night with your lady? That's one issue you've got there. But secondly, it must be crazy. Like what goes through your head at night when you put your head on your pillow and you close your eyes and try and get to sleep and think about what 2024 could be. Right? This is so frustrated you were with the end of 2023, but now this is all yours to claim, right?
For real, man. And when I go to sleep, I am kind of knocked out, thanks to my missus. But but in the daytime, I am so focused and like I'm just so energized. Like in the gym, it's like today, man. Rounds with the best in the world, rounds with Joy Herbert and rounds with O'Meal Brown. It's just, it's great, getting in with Leon Edwards, working, picking his brain, and all of these things, just all the people that are behind me and my team just give me that extra confidence to go in there and knowing that, I could really go all the way and become champion. And this this challenge is mine for the taking, you know, and it's almost a you versus you thing. It's like how much of you can show up, because if all of you shows up, it's a wrap. The force will be unleashed.
What was it like when you spoke to like Leon Edwards and Fabian and all the, you know, the guys there that you train with day in day out? When you told them, I'm in this tournament and it's, you know, for a chunk of €1 million, what did they say to you?
Well, Fabian was like, €1 million, baby. money man. I see. I mean, with Leon, it's a little bit different. Leon's obviously multi-millionaire already, you know, doing his thing. So he's like, you know, he probably just punched me in the face. I can't remember. He continued working, you know, keep working hard. But all my coaches and everyone at Renegade, they're really excited. We got a good few of us that are doing really big things next year, you know, other than Leon. Obviously, Leon's doing amazing, great things too. But, you know, you're going to have Fabian there, challenge back for the title. And then you're going to have O'Meal do, like, he could become a free agent soon. You know, you might see him here. I don't know, you know, but a big name to watch out for. Joy is on a mad resurgence as well. He's coming back hungry, sharper, ready. Even Tim Wild, there's some big moves that could, I don't know, I can't announce anything yet, but he could be doing some amazing things. And that's all down at Renegade, and it's great to be rubbing shoulders, because they say if you want to be, if you hang around with 5 drug dealers or dossers, you'll become the 6. If you hang around with 5 millionaires, you'll become the 6. If you hang around with 5 badass MMA fighters that are at the best in the world, you become the 6. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And I feel like I'm in a great place.
The other great thing is you'll be traveling the world doing this. So first stop is Ostrava, and then obviously it will unfold as to where the other ones are. But big events coming in Germany, Czech Republic. We've got a stadium event happening, already announced, in Prague in June. Over 25,000 people in open air arena. So I can picture a lot of the tournaments already popping into these great venues. What does that add to it? Because it's great having the resume, but you want that experience, right? You want to feel like a gladiator.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, I know England will build. Like the last show that we were in England, there was like, I think 6, 7, I can't remember. Still big, nice crowd. But like some of the crowds that you guys that have been putting on your other shows where you got 20, 25,000, it's absolutely crazy and wild. And it's something I'm yet to experience, and I can't wait to experience something like that. And yeah, I don't. It won't mean too much to me on the day, because I'm focused. But like when I sit back and look at, you know, the legacy, it really will probably bring a tear to my eye. Like, yo, we did that, yeah. So, yo, geez, you know, it'll be a geez moment.
Yeah. You've also been there. You talk about England growing. You've experienced those crowds outside. So you've been to some of the shows and the events in different cities. Just describe for people what's different about an Octagon event. What, you know, as a fan, as somebody that's been there and absorbed the energy. What is different from the kind of shows we get in England?
Man, it's wild. Like if you ain't felt the floor shake before, then turn up to one of these Octagon shows that are sold out. It's absolutely epic. And you know, I love fights, so to be able to sit K-side next to this handsome man and watch fights, like it's obviously my missus on my side. I do not think it's like the best thing in the world, man. So even when I was in Stranitsvar and you guys done that little halftime show and stuff, that to me kind of separated you guys from a lot of the shows. Like just the amount of personal connection you have with all your fans. And it's really like a massive family event. Like fighting doesn't really seem to be like a family event sometimes. It's like I fought in Wolverhampton before, mate, and the whole place broke out in a fight, and I'm like, what's going on? You don't want to bring your family, but I really feel like Octagon does add that element to it where it is family friendly, but at the same time, you see these warriors and these gladiators go into battle, and you really get to experience all the adrenaline that they go through. So yeah, it's a great show for sure, man, and I'm looking forward for big things for them in 2024.
Appreciate that. Well, next up is this card. We're going to Newcastle, mate. So Magar versus Cartwright tops it. Then we got that heavyweight clash. Parash versus Austin. Penhaz versus Bonnet in the middleweight division. Aaron Abbey versus Daniel. Christopher Daniel from America coming over here to take on the Welshman Abbey. Many great fights there, and I'd love to get your thoughts on some of these, mate. So, I mean, you know the card, or you know some of the fights at least. Which ones are you looking forward to, or what? In fact, I'm going to jump to one that you will have thoughts about: Cherokee versus Frimpong. This is going down. Now, Frimpong was a contestant for Ireland. He had plenty to say to you. He's had plenty to say afterwards. Cherokee, I know, was somebody that you were trying to fight at the end of the year as well. What's your thoughts on this fight? And go on, give us your breakdown.
I mean, my first initial thoughts is they're both pussies. You know, I don't know if I can say this. Sorry, I'm sorry. Excuse my language. Beep.
We're on YouTube. You're good. You're good.
Oh, you're good. We're good. Yeah. Obviously, the story with Cherokee is that we had the opportunity to fight. We actually made a mutual agreement. We were like, yeah, let's fight. I remember I had the Bannock fight lined up. Cherokee was originally meant to be one of my opponents. That we went through the list, and he was like, "No, I don't want to fight Acon. I want to fight in my hometown." So I was like, "Cool. Book me in Ostrava too. I'll fight Bannock, and then I'll back to back. I'll fight you in Ostrava." All of a sudden, he disappeared and didn't say anything, which means no. And then he comes out, fights next opponent, loses, and then the story with Frimpong is that this guy loves to chat shit. You know, you've seen with Dennis, the guy that he had yesterday, George, the guy that he had yesterday, the amount of horrible things he kept saying and digging at George, and then George finally got to put his hands on him and batter him and then finally submit him. I just feel like, I know why Cherokee's saying no, but I just feel like they're both a bit of a joke. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a great representation of both of themselves. You got Frimpong will be very nice to you in your face. We'll simmer down and we'll be able to have a great talk, you know, because I'm not trying to fight the guy. Like, he's 0-2, right? But on the show, he said he would come and he'd want to beat me up and he'd bang me out. So I'm obviously not going to back down to that challenge. I'm going to say, all right, cool. You think you can prove it? Win the title, win the Octagon contract, then I'll see you in the cage. Oh, no. Whispers to my manager. Oh, I'll never fight him. And then, you know, so what's the point of me digging at him if he said he's never going to fight me? But then has the audacity to come back and back again. I think that's just Frimpong's style. He just likes to try and keep himself relevant and argumentative to all of the fighters in there. I think if he walked up to, you know, even Leon Edwards, he'd probably chat so much shit to Leon Edwards and say, yeah, I can bang you. And I know we could stand here and laugh about it, but I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't past him. So going back, without digressing, going back to their fight, I do see this as almost a 50-50 fight. If Cherokee can take him down and maul him on the ground like George did, then Dennis ain't getting up. I don't think Dennis has got the skill to get up. And if Dennis gets cut or hurt, he's going to look for a way out, just like he did with George. You know what I mean? As soon as he got cut, he was like, let me out. And he got like half the guillotine and then just tapped. You know, so that shows there's a crack in his mindset, a crack. As tough as he likes to think he is, there is a crack in there. With Cherokee, I don't think like he has the skills to really compete there at, like, you know, to be champion or something like that. But to be able to beat Frimpong, I do feel like he has enough power to hit Frimpong's chin that likes to talk all the time. It's loose on the hinge. If he does swing his nice big overhand rights and then starts to ruffle him on the floor, maybe cuts him up, I'm leaning with Cherokee. Put your money on Cherokee. Let's go.
Tell us what you really feel, Acon. Don't sit on the fence, all right? Just let it out. Let it out, brother. Let it out.
Well, listen, what I really feel is that, like,
I would
put my money on Cherokee. I would put my money on Cherokee, but I don't know if he's got all the skills to be able to do it, you know, because Frimpong, let's look at the body type. He's very long, he's very tall, and can Cherokee get in there, dig deep, and, you know, not get caught with silly shots? If he does get caught with silly shots and gets peppered from the outside, it's going to be a long night for him. and he's going to be cut up, and he's going to be frustrated, and he's going to be on the outside. But if he digs deep and uses that military mindset that he's got and puts it on Frimpong, I do see him coming away with the victory, and I hope he does. I hope Frimpong goes 0-3, and then what's the point of us fighting, mate? Come on. I'm literally trying to fight in this game changer with guys that have got like 17-1, 12-1, big massive careers and titles and champions, and that's the caliber of fighters that I want to fight, not Frimpong. I don't know why he keeps dragging man into this fight. Like what? Like if you guys want to see me fight Frimpong, let me know, because I'll just be doing a charity service at that point. Like what? Well, go on. Like at least with Cherokee, we've got he got like a massive record. Yeah, it's a minus record, but at least he's been there and he was ranked. He was ranked, and that's why I wanted him so bad too. He was ranked higher than me. I wanted Bannick.
Number 8, right?
Yeah, he was ranked number 8. I wanted Pukuni because he was ranked higher than me. There's something to gain from there. I ain't gonna mention ping pong again. Like, come on, man.
Listen, let's talk about this one. And this one you know very well because you were there for it. There's a rematch, McHugh versus Herczeg 2, this time at featherweight. So we saw in the last fight, Herczeg get the win in 34 seconds. You were close with McHugh, particularly as his coach. What do you think of this one? What's your thoughts on the rematch? Any different, or how do you see it?
I love this one, man. I absolutely love this fight. I'll be breaking this down on my YouTube channel as well later. Like I really hope Jake can come back and he has his head straight and he doesn't like make any silly mistakes like he did the first fight. I really do think it was a great capitalization. I don't say things are lucky in MMA because you have to put the work in, put the training in to be able to execute your plan and to be able to execute your moves. So I don't really feel like there's lucky shots or there's lucky submissions. You just got caught. So Jake made a few mistakes of getting himself caught and getting subbed. But I feel like lightning don't strike twice in that sort of way. I feel like he's going to be watching his P's and Q's. He's going to take the fight a lot more slower, and I do feel like Jake's got more skills, especially because of the last performance I seen with what's his name?
Yeah, he fought Klevets in Cologne.
Yeah. So his last performance, I like it. Whether it's Armand's last performance, I don't like it. It was very dull. He looked like a fish out of water when he got dropped down to the floor. I don't know if he's covered them skills. I still remain the same opinion as before that if it goes to the ground, it's all for Jake. It's deadly for Jake. You know what I mean? On the feet, he can hold himself, stay switched on. But when he gets it down to the floor, I do feel like there'll be a first or second round submission for Jake. Let's go.
I love it. There we go. Great fight though, right? And again, when you talk about the story coming back, because Armand surprised everybody and he could do it again. But Jake with that last performance, I thought he looked outstanding. I thought for me, when that last performance, I was worried about how his head would be different. Like fighting abroad and fighting at Klevets, he had like over 300 amateur fights and great records. Combat Sambo, European champion. So I thought that was really strong. So we'll see. The main event though is of course Magard versus Cartwright. Now this has had plenty of heat. We're doing a 90-second show every single evening. You can watch it on Instagram. You can follow their journeys. We did a face-to-face with them while we were in Ostrava, and it was crazy. Like there's genuine animosity. They both train in Manchester as well, so there's this rival gym going on. What do you know about the two, and what's your thoughts on the main event?
I don't know much about the Shark Magard. Like I've seen his last performance where he lost the title, and I thought that was a great fight. I thought it was a great fight. Just the other guy just had a bit more. He came out of nowhere and he just a bit more skilled. But I do feel like it's going to light a fire underneath him. I know Cartwright quite well. He comes down to the gym down at Renegade, and I feel like that place is just going to set him on fire. Do you know what I mean? Coming in, mixing with the likes of myself, mixing with Leon, mixing with all the coaches that are down.
You getting rounds with him? You getting rounds with Cartwright?
Yeah, I've done 1 or 2 rounds with him like for a long time ago now. I think, but I've like we work together. We're working on skills. You know what I mean? He's in the gym. He's in the same gym where he's working on the same skill set that I'm working on. You know, so I know firsthand what that's going to do to any fighter in the world. You know, I know firsthand what the coaches and the coaches around in Renegade bring to any fighter in the world. So just the fact that you walk in on the mat and you're soaking up that atmosphere, you're soaking up the skill set, that's going to put an additional levels on top of you. So that gives me more confidence in Cartwright. You know, I feel like in the words exchange, he's definitely, you know, a landslide. There's been some 10-8 rounds in there with the words of war, and I feel like that could play into the fight as well. You know, I feel like Cartwright's one of them guys where he's not going to get shaken too easy, you know, and I feel like he's got skill sets that will bring an element of surprise to Magard, and I feel like this fight could maybe go the distance. If not, there's an early finish, but it maybe could go the distance, and I'm leaning towards Cartwright.
Love it, absolutely love it. So I'll give people one last look at that card. Add it to there. That goes down January 27th. That is at the Utilita Arena. That is your main event, Jack Cartwright versus Jonas Magard. Also, March 2nd, the TipSport Gamechanger. And let's look at that. That's a great picture as well. Look at that. Look at that.
Let's go.
And the TipSport Gamechanger kicks off March 2nd. The hunt for that chunk of €1 million begins again. And you are in it, my friend. That is, I mean, in the world of... in Chinese years, they have the dragon, they have the tiger. What's this year going to be, Acon? I'm setting you up here.
The year of the Jedi.
There we go.
The year of the Jedi.
Man, do you know what? This year, one of the highlights, or last year, I should say, one of the highlights for me was getting to know you, really, doing the Octagon Challenge, you know, spending that amount of time in Slovakia, living and breathing, working together and doing all that. I'm really excited that you are in it. I'm proud of everything that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in this tournament. Like you said, no one can say no now, Acon. We won't ever have those phone calls where you go, another one said no. What can you do? Can you give someone a nudge? Can we get something going? But yeah, I'm really, really pleased and excited for you. And let's go, brother. Let's do it.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah, it's been an absolute honor as well to meet you as well, man. And whether you've known it or not, you've been a great a great guidance to me. You know, as you said, there's been so many no's and almost tantrums from me. Yeah, almost tantrums. Why won't they fight me? And this year will be different. So yeah, look forward to it.
That's it. Well, listen, man, thank you for the time. Get back to training. Go on, you got somebody to train for. One of those, the other 16 or 15 other monsters in the lightweight division. So, Acon, take care. We will see you in Ostrava, if not Newcastle. Hopefully, we'll get you up to Newcastle. You can come up. It would be great to have you there, brother. You and your lovely lady. So,
may the force be with you.
You too. Happy New Year, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. There he is, the Jedi, Akon Wanliss. Just look how excited I am. I've just throwing my headphone out of there. What a guy, and what a moment that is going to be. Again, that all kicks off March the 2nd. You can follow that journey. The hunt for that €1 million begins once again. It was the highlight of 2023 and 2024 with that amount of talent in there. Looks set to be another fantastic year. And then, of course, you can join us January 27th. Get your tickets at ticketmaster.com. Newcastle Utilita Arena for this amazing card. What a couple of days it's been. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you tune into this one, and if you tune into the George Staines one yesterday, we will be back with more action coming up next week. But yeah, take care. Thank you so much. And